Hello everyone, welcome to Cinema Snacks, the show where we talk about eating snacks at the movies. I'm your host, Caramel Thunder, and today we'll be watching The Way Back, starring Ben Affleck and Gavin O'Connor. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're interested in the snacks. So, today for our first video, I thought we'd go with something classic, something typical of your average movie-going experience in America. So we're going to get popcorn, candy, soda. It's very, very typical of what you see in America. It's also in all the commercials or movies. Whenever you see people at the theater, usually in movies or in commercials or TV shows, they get those three things. So, what I recommend doing is, because if you go to the theater, you buy candy, soda, and popcorn, they're going to charge the hell out of you, and you're going to end up paying $100 for all that. Don't do that. Here's what you do. Get your candy beforehand. I've chosen Rasinets and Starburst minis. I like Rasinets because they are both chocolatey and sweet. I like Starburst because they're easy to eat, and they don't come in the wrapper, so you don't have a fistful of wrappers when you're done with the movie. Easy to clean up. Boom. You put it all in a bag. That way it's all ready to go. It's all in one pocket. You don't have a Starburst in one pocket, Kit Kat in another pocket, candy bar here, candy bar there. That's way too confusing. It's hard enough going to the movies, you know. Make it easy on yourself. Put it all in one bag if you're into that. And bam, it's all in one pocket. There you go. For soda today, we will be drinking Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero. I think it tastes about the same as regular Coke, and I'm assuming it's a little bit more healthier, but who knows? It might even be worse. But psychologically, it makes me feel better and a little bit more healthier when I'm gorging myself on popcorn and candy if I have a zero Coke with me. And of course, the popcorn we will purchase at the theater. If I could sneak in popcorn, I could. I would, but no place makes popcorn better than the movie theaters. So, we got our candy, we got our soda, we're going to get our popcorn. We got our big coat too. That's another important thing. You got to get a big coat if you sneak stuff into theaters, because you got to have big pockets for that soda and the candy. So, we got our candy, soda, Coke, got our tickets. Let's rock and roll.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right, just got back from the movie. Very good movie. However, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the snacks. So, overall, good snacking experience. It was a good choice. Popcorn, candy, and soda. It's a classic, typical American snack for the movies for a reason. It's really good, and it works. Popcorn was great. It was fresh. I was at the first showing of the day, so it was very hot, very warm, very buttery, very unhealthy. I chose the small popcorn because it was just me. Now, I have been known to eat an entire large by myself, but again, that will probably kill me if I keep doing that. So, I stuck with the small, and it was good. I think that's the perfect size for a one person to have all by themselves. Probably a more healthy person would just have half of that, or maybe 1/4 of that. But I'm not trying that hard to be healthy. So the popcorn was great. Starburst minis and Rasinets, the candy options, worked well together. When I sat down and I started snacking, I almost regretted putting in the Rasinets and the Starburst minis because, as you know, there's that thing that some people do, I do sometimes, where you mix in the Rasinets with the popcorn so you get a nice salty and sugary and chocolatey taste. I found myself getting a little bit of Rasinets in my hand, putting some popcorn in there, popping it in my mouth, getting a nice, good, interesting flavor, nice bite of candy and popcorn. I was doing that a lot at the beginning, but then, also because I didn't think that Starburst minis would go that well with popcorn, and that's something I still stand by. I think something about those two, you just can't eat them at the same time. Sure, in the same snacking experience, but just not at the same time. But the Starburst Minis and Rasinets, as I started eating more and more, I found myself eating, first by accident, I grabbed a bunch of Rasinets, popped it in my mouth, but I was like, oh, wait, what's this? That is not a Raisinette. That is a Starburst Mini that I'm chewing. And you know what? It worked really good. As you know, Raisinettes are a chocolatey candy with a raisin center, if it even is a raisin. But it's a nice, sweet, gummy thing in the middle of this chocolate. And Starburst Minis are, well, Starburst. They're a sweet candy that's kind of sticky, kind of hard, not quite taffy, but similar to taffy. And I was surprised how well eating the Raisinettes and the Starburst at the same time went. They really complement each other, both in the texture, both in the taste, and I was surprised to find that that might be a new go-to snack for me, is mixing some Raisinettes and some Starburst Minis together and eating that. But then again, throughout my snacking experience, I was switching between eating some popcorn and Raisinettes, eating that, and getting some Raisinettes and Starburst Minis, and just eating some popcorn, just eating Raisinettes. Now, what I sometimes try to do is Starburst Minis is I usually like to save the meat, if you will, the main part of the snack, the movie snack, during the movie, or during at least the preview. Start at the previews and go through the movie. Today, and what I do with Starburst Minis is I take Starburst Minis, and that's kind of like, those are candies that I think I personally don't need a beverage to enjoy. I can just eat Starburst Minis on their own. But because of the salty and sugariness and chocolatiness of popcorn and Raisinettes, I tend to eat that when I know I can enjoy my drink a lot more, not feel like I have to be stingy before the show, before I don't, not having to worry about drinking all of it. But yes, with the Starburst Minis, those are snacks that I like to think of, they're kind of warm-ups. I usually like to start with the Starburst Minis, then I like to throw a little Raisinettes in there, start eating a little more of the Raisinettes and popcorn, because I don't like to eat all my snacks all at once before the movie started. However, that didn't happen this time. I actually ended up, I guess I was super hungry. I skipped out on breakfast, and I finished my snack just during the first 15 minutes of the movie. So if you do plan on getting a small popcorn and just thing of Raisinettes, thing of Starburst Minis, be wary. They can go by fast because they're just so addictive. But usually I like to try and wait for the movie to start eating. And what I'll do is I'll eat Starburst Minis for the beginning, during the previews and during the first 30 minutes, first look, with Maria Menounos. But again, this time that didn't happen. I was hungry. So that's a word of warning to all you moviegoers and you snack lovers. The soda. Let's move on to the soda. Delicious. Cherry Vanilla Coke, or specifically Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero, is delicious. It's great. It complemented the popcorn and the Raisinettes very well. And even after I'd finished the majority of my snacks, or most of all the snacks, let's be honest here, I still had half of a container left of the Coke. And sometimes, if you're in that snacking zone, you're in your kind of the middle of it, sometimes you don't want to have that. Sometimes you like to finish your drink and the snack at the same time. That way there's not one left over, because if you have leftover soda and you keep drinking, you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I want something to snack on. Or if you have more popcorn than soda, you're eating the popcorn and you're thinking, oh, wait, I need something to drink. I need something to wash this down. However, as I stated, I finished the snacks far before I finished the drink, but the drink tasted delicious and it worked well, and it did not make me want more snacks. I was drinking it throughout the movie, and it was kind of a nice little sip to have every now and then, and it worked really well. another warning for you movie and snack goers here. If you sneak in a soda, you do run the risk of having the soda warm up, right? So you want to make sure that you either take that sucker out of the fridge or you are going straight from the store or grocery store, 7-Eleven to the theater. Because the longer you head out for the movie, the more you risk drinking a warm soda. Today that didn't happen, thank goodness. I was spared that whole ordeal. But that is just a warning if you are planning to sneak in a bottle of soda or can. What I've heard some people do, this is a little tip. You get a can or a bottle of soda, right? Sneak in one of those water bottles too. You know, like a hydro flask or those plastic fake Starbucks drink cups. Fill it up with ice before you go. The ice will keep it all good and cold. So that way, even if you have warm soda, pour it in your bucket or pour it in your cup. You're good to go. Yeah. So that's all the notes I think I have for you guys today. Again, solid snacking experience. So I would say I haven't figured out a rating systems for all this because it's all so subjective. But I would say I would recommend if you go to the movies, I would recommend getting a popcorn, Starburst minis, Rasinets, and a thing of cherry vanilla Coke or cherry vanilla Coke Zero, whatever your preference is. All right. Well, that's it for today. Adventures of our cinema snacks here. Tune in next time. I don't know what I'll be eating, but if you have any ideas, leave any suggestions in the comments. All right.